Now let's cross live to the Borno state capital and speak to the Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Professor Usman. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Well, day 4 or so after the floods, what's exactly the situation in your state presently?
Thank you very much. We've established displacement camps, about 15 of them on high grounds, and we have evacuated a large number, 90% plus of our displaced persons into those displacement camps. We have established feeding systems and medical facilities for those in the camps, and evacuation continues for those that are still trapped in remote locations. And we also have few dead bodies that we have salvaged, and we have, sent them to the hospital for proper assessment before burial. And we've been receiving donations from individuals and organizations, and we've set off a donation fund, a relief fund, and the relief fund is being managed by the flood committee, the flood mitigation committee, and as the governor said, the funds will be judiciously utilized in order to provide succor to those who are affected by the floods. Maiduguri is calm. People are coming to terms with the challenges, and overall, we are gradually putting our pieces together, and the water is receding. We anticipate that in the coming days, homes will be dry for cleanup operations to start.
Right, and that's interesting to note, but let's walk back a little. There were indications that your governor, Professor Zulum, actually set up a committee to take a look at the Alau Dam, and reports came back to him that the structural integrity was not exactly in top shape. In spite of that, nothing was done about that dam, and here we are with the situation that happened there with the flooding. Don't you think this, the gravity of this flooding would have been much less if the state government had been more proactive?
Thank you very much. Your audience should know that the Alau Dam is a facility of the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. It is a federal asset, and for the state government to even intervene, it has to follow due process. But that said, the Lake Chad Basin Development Authority, which is directly responsible for the management of the dam, is the one that is directly responsible, and it has done its own assessment as well, and we have done our assessment, and we are in the process of collaboration. But actually, by and large, the dam is a federal asset, and ours is a contribution from a subnational entity. And the flood committee, its assessment is like an early warning assessment to see what we can do and how we can relay to the federal government to come to the rescue of the dam. The dam was built 50 years ago. Over the years, a lot of debris has been deposited on the dam, and not much maintenance was carried out by the owners of the dam.
In spite of the fact
that going forward, we hope that.
In spite of the fact that the dam is situated in your state, very quickly, let's talk about the Ecological Fund. Ecological funds are meant to address, situations like this with the environment, flooding, emergency situations, and all of that. 12 billion naira was shared in the first quarter of 2023. That's last year. What exactly has your state done with ecological funds? Because some see it as slush funds. In what way have you been deploying ecological funds?
Thank you very much. Borno State has been a site for insurgency. The insurgency has affected our environment in many ways. And don't forget that Borno State is also in the front line for desertification, desert encroachment, human and natural environmental effect, climatic disasters, and so on. So the fund went into all this. The fund was not basically meant for allow or something like that, but we were dealing with so many environmental challenges before this allow issue came up. And so the money went into the purposes intended.
Including taking care of the environment and preventing flooding, but unfortunately we have the worst flooding situation in 30 years in Borno State. Very quickly, on the morning show today, our correspondent Sani Adamu visited one of the IDP camps where some, of those affected by the flooding were relocated. And some troubling allegations came from the people there that they're not getting enough food, and when there's food, it's diverted. Are you looking at that? Are you aware that that's going on at this camps? What do you plan to do about that? And also allegations of rape.
Well, we are not aware of the allegations of rape. If there are allegations of rape, the law will take its course, of course. It will be a police matter. With regards to diversion of food, that is not true. We are aware that the camps, there are challenges in the camps in respect of sharing. We learned that people who were not internally displaced, people who were on high grounds, whose houses were located near the camps, they move into the camp in order to take advantage. So the committee came up with a formula for targeting those that need the food. So the food was, they are being distributed fairly, and so far so good. There's nothing like diversion. What are we going to divert the food for? Why? Governor Zulum is known for distribution of all allocations that come from the federal government. Governor Zulum buys and distributes palliatives. Why should he or his government divert food? Why? And why doing so in an emergency situation like this?
Exactly. It's totally illogical. But the allegations that civilian JTF involved in this, you might have to investigate that so that you can get the, accurate position of things. Very quickly, the president has released 3 billion to your state. In what specific areas? What would be the priority areas, that you'll be deploying this 3 billion naira?
Well, in the coming days, the State Emergency Committee, the Flood Committee, will sit down and look at the matter and refer the matter to the governor for appropriate decision.
And that'll be it. Thank you very much, Professor Usman, Commissioner for Information, Borno State. We hope that people can get back to their normal lives sooner than later. Thank you for joining us on Newsnight.